chosen one. There it is, that look in their eyes, recognition mixed with confusion. They finally noticed, didn't they? Your transformation is undeniable now. Yesterday you were drowning in their mediocrity. Today you walk on water while they scramble for life rafts. Last year you were invisible in their shadow. Now you cast darkness they cannot escape from. The twist cuts deeper than they realize. Something is helping you. Someone is guiding your every move. But it is not what their small minds imagine. It is not some guru on a mountain or millionaire mentor sliding into your messages. The answer terrifies them because it reveals their own cowardice. Your helper has been with you all along, forged in fires they dare not enter. This revelation will shatter their comfortable illusions about success, requiring external validation. You are about to discover the identity of your most powerful advisor, the one they have been staring at without seeing because they lack the eyes to recognize true power when it does not wear a suit. Trompadenti, they circle you like vultures, studying a phoenix. Every breakthrough you experience sends them into detective mode. Where did that strategic insight come from? How did you predict their moves 3 steps ahead? What course taught you to dodge their attacks with supernatural precision? Their investigation reveals nothing because they are searching in the wrong dimension. Watch them scramble for rational explanations. They need there to be a middleman, some secret society of achievers pulling you up their ladder. The alternative breaks their reality. That you did this yourself, that you tapped into frequencies they cannot hear, that you found something they will never have access to because they lack the courage to claim it. Their confusion multiplies as your success follows no blueprint they recognize. Your energy does not match any mentor they know. Your methods defy every formula they have studied. You are operating on intelligence they cannot intercept, following GPS coordinates they cannot hack, receiving transmissions from sources that do not show up in their network. This drives them insane because in their world, success requires visible support systems and documented education. But you dance perfectly to music only you can hear. Your orchestra remains invisible while your performance becomes undeniable. They see coordination without finding the conductor. Here is where their investigation hits a wall they cannot climb. Your mentor does not have a LinkedIn profile or success testimonials. Your advisor does not speak in motivational quotes or morning routines. Your teacher operates from depths they would need to die and be reborn just to glimpse. While they collected mentors like trading cards, you were building relationship with the only counsel that actually matters, your shadow self, your dark passenger, the version of you that remembers every betrayal, every lesson, every scar. This shadow mentor speaks in pure intelligence, drawn from the deepest wells of your experience. Every massive breakthrough you have had lately came from that voice at 3 in the morning that suddenly connected dots you did not know existed. That strategic move that blindsided everyone emerged from remembering exactly how someone blindsided you 5 years ago and reverse engineering their tactics. That unshakable confidence comes from your shadow, reminding you of every hell you have already survived. Your shadow does not offer inspiration. It offers integration of every dark truth you have encountered. When you make moves now, it is with intelligence they cannot access because they have not paid the price for admission. Your counsel meets in dimensions they do not believe exist. Every ghost that haunts you has become a teacher. Every demon you faced has become a trainer. Every moment of abandonment taught you self-reliance. Every betrayal taught you pattern recognition. Every breakdown taught you breakthrough mechanics. You did not hire consultants. You consulted your catastrophes. Think about your strategy sessions. They happen in the shower, where all your ghosts gather to compare notes. Your conference room exists in your mind, where every version of you that ever existed comes together to plan the next move. The board of directors that guides you meets in your dreams, sharing classified intelligence from different timelines of your existence. Your mentor is not a person but a process, a constant conversation between who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. Every trauma you transmuted now serves as specialized consultant. The you that trusted too easily now advises on discretion. The you that moved too fast now counsels patience. The you that revealed too much now experts in strategic silence. This is why your competition cannot figure out your game. They play chess while you play multi-dimensional chess with advisors who exist outside of time. Your shadow remembers what your conscious mind forgot, processes information while you sleep, recognizes threats before your rational mind can articulate them. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. Your shadow board includes every person who ever underestimated you, now serving as reverse mentors showing you exactly what not to be. Every door that closed in your face now advises on alternative entrances. Every bridge that burned now teaches you architecture. Every betrayal now serves in your intelligence network. When you walk into a room, your shadow has already assessed everyone there based on energetic signatures matching past encounters. When opportunities present themselves, your shadow runs them through thousands of similar scenarios from your history. When someone approaches with offers, your shadow identifies which of the 7 types of betrayal this might lead to. This is not paranoia, this is preparation. This is not negativity, this is informed decision-making based on data they do not possess. You are not closed off. You are selective based on intelligence gathered from your entire existence, processed through pain, refined through rage, crystallized through survival. Every mentor they pay thousands to access tries to teach them what your shadow teaches you for free: how to transform wounds into weapons, how to alchemize trauma into treasure, how to read the matrix because you have seen it glitch. Your education happened in darkness, while theirs happened in classrooms. Here is what disturbs them most: the coherence of your movement, despite apparent absence of guidance. Every step seems orchestrated, but they cannot find the orchestra. Every decision appears calculated, but they cannot locate the calculator. Your precision feels supernatural to people who have never integrated their darkness. Your shadow operates on data, not hope. While they make vision boards and manifest, your shadow runs probability analysis based on pattern recognition from your entire history. It does not tell you what you want to hear. It shows you exactly what patterns indicate will happen based on your accumulated experience. The mentor they think you have is the accumulated intelligence of everyone who ever tried to break you. The strategy they cannot decode is built from reverse engineering every attack you survived. The confidence they cannot understand comes from advisors who have already seen you survive worse than anything currently facing you. Your success looks different because it is built on integration, not inspiration. When they ask who is helping you, they expect a name, a face, a contact they could theoretically reach. But how do you explain that your guidance system was forged in furnaces they have never entered? Deep down, they recognize what is happening. They see in you what they have been running from in themselves, that shadow they have been suppressing, medicating, therapying away. You made friends with yours, that darkness they have been taught to fear. You learned its language, that pain they keep trying to heal. You turned it into fuel. Watching you thrive with the very things they have been taught to shame makes them question everything they thought they knew about success. They want your results but not your process. They want your power but not your pain. They want your transformation but not your truth. The uncomfortable truth reveals itself in their physical responses to your presence. Some experience sudden anxiety without understanding why. Others feel inexplicably angry or defensive. A few become obsessively curious, asking probing questions they cannot explain. Your integrated shadow triggers unconscious recognition of their own abandoned aspects, creating internal chaos they cannot consciously identify. This recognition manifests as projection. They accuse you of being dark, manipulative, or dangerous because they cannot acknowledge these rejected qualities within themselves. Your wholeness forces them to confront their fragmentation. Your authenticity exposes their performance. Your freedom highlights their self-imposed limitations. The idea that your helper has been with you all along, forged in your failures and born from your breakdowns, requires too much responsibility for them to accept. It means they have access to the same power. They just lack the courage to claim it. Your shadow does not promise happiness, it promises power. This is why they keep searching for external explanations. They need it to be someone else, because the alternative means facing their own abandoned aspects. Your integration threatens their entire model of how success works. You succeeded by embracing what they rejected. Your shadow mentor does not coddle with comfortable lies. It tells you exactly who betrayed you and why. It shows you patterns others miss because it remembers everything, forgets nothing, and forgives only strategically. It does not teach you to be liked, it teaches you to be undeniable. The integration was not beautiful or peaceful, it was brutal, sitting alone at night and admitting every harsh truth you had been avoiding, acknowledging that half your problems came from your own patterns, recognizing that your shadow saw everything coming, but you refused to listen until crisis forced the conversation. Your shadow does not speak in words, it speaks in knowing. That gut feeling about someone is your threat detection system built from every betrayal you experienced. That sudden clarity about situations is your shadow connecting patterns from similar scenarios in your past. That unexpected strategic insight emerges from your shadow's war room, where every battle you ever fought is analyzed for applicable tactics. You did not suddenly get help. You suddenly started listening to help that was always available. You did not find a mentor. You found yourself. You did not receive secret knowledge. You accessed knowledge that was secret from yourself until you developed courage to integrate your complete spectrum. Now that communication is established, intelligence flows constantly. Every interaction becomes data. Every observation becomes strategy. Every experience becomes education. You dodge bullets they do not see coming. You capitalize on opportunities they do not know exist. You navigate complexity like you possess maps they cannot access. You do have maps, drawn by every wrong turn you ever took, marked with every dead end you ever hit, annotated with every shortcut you discovered through disaster. Your shadow is your GPS, guided by satellites of suffering, transformed into wisdom. This is why your moves seem impossible to track. Your shadow board does not operate on theories but proven tactics from your battlefield experience. It does not give you motivation but memory of what happens when you do not move. It does not inspire you but reminds you of the cost of staying the same. This is intelligence money cannot buy, connections cannot provide, courses cannot teach. The wisdom only comes from walking through hell and taking notes, from dying multiple times and remembering what killed you, from being betrayed so thoroughly that you developed supernatural pattern recognition. Your advisors meet in the darkness of consciousness, strategizing based on intelligence gathered from every dimension of your experience. Your shadow board is not just training you for success, it is preparing you for evolution. Your shadow is not trying to help you win their game, it is teaching you to transcend the game entirely. You are not climbing their ladder, you are building your own structure. You are not following their path. You are creating territories they do not have maps for yet. Trompazenti, the guidance does not come in gentle suggestions, but bone-deep knowing that moves you before your mind can interfere. That sudden decision to cut someone off was your shadow counsel's unanimous vote based on pattern recognition. That unexpected pivot in strategy was your threat detection system, identifying danger 3 moves ahead. That bold move everyone called crazy was calculation that risk of staying the same exceeded risk of change. Your shadow mentor does not teach you to be successful. It teaches you to be inevitable, not through armor, but adaptability, not through strength, but strategic shape-shifting, not through dominance but dimensional thinking, operating beyond their comprehension. You are being trained by every trauma you transmuted, advised by every adversity you alchemized. This is why traditional mentors could not help you the way your shadow can. They would teach you their victories, but your shadow teaches from your defeats. They would show you their path, but your shadow shows paths that exist only because of where you have been. They would give you their wisdom, but your shadow provides wisdom calibrated to your exact wounds and their corresponding medicines. There exists a frequency of pain that transforms into power when properly tuned. Your shadow operates on this frequency, broadcasting signals that only other integrated souls can receive. This is why certain people are drawn to you now, while others flee without understanding why. You emit energy that activates recognition in those who have walked similar paths, while triggering fear in those who have not. It happened over years of accumulating wisdom from wounds, collecting intelligence from injuries, gathering strength from what tried to destroy you. Every scar became a sensor, every trauma became a teacher, every ending became an education in new beginnings. The frequency you now broadcast carries messages they cannot decode because it requires fluency in languages of loss, dialects of disappointment, vocabulary of victory earned through defeat. Your communication style has evolved beyond their comprehension because you speak from dimensions they refuse to explore. Listen carefully to how your voice has changed. Notice how your words carry weight that bends reality around them. Observe how your presence shifts energy in rooms before you even speak. This is not confidence. This is certainty born from surviving uncertainty. This is not charisma. This is command earned through chaos. Your shadow mentor operates within a vast resistance network of abandoned aspects, rejected parts, denied dimensions of human experience. Every person who ever called you too much, too intense, too dark, was actually identifying your membership in this underground alliance of the unacceptable. They tried to normalize you, socialize you, domesticate your wildness into something manageable. They failed because domestication requires consent, and your soul never agreed to their terms. Your shadow collected evidence of every attempt to diminish you, building case files for future reference when the time came to reclaim your power. The resistance network spans across time, connecting you to every version of yourself that refused to surrender. Your teenage self who would not conform, your young adult self who questioned everything, your broken self who would not stay broken. Each version contributed intelligence to the collective wisdom now guiding your moves. This network operates in shadows because light dwellers cannot perceive its operations. They see individual acts of rebellion, but miss the coordinated campaign for authenticity. They witness scattered moments of resistance, but cannot detect the systematic revolution happening beneath their awareness. Deep within your consciousness exists a palace built from memories they wished you would forget. Every humiliation became a cornerstone. Every rejection became a foundation stone. Every moment they tried to make you feel small became architecture for something vast and uncontainable. Your shadow mentor maintains this palace, cataloging experiences in rooms they can never access. The Hall of Betrayals, where every broken promise is preserved for pattern recognition. The Gallery of Gaslighting, where every manipulation attempt is displayed for future reference. The Library of Lies, where every false promise is filed for instant recall. This palace serves as both museum and military base. Museum because it preserves evidence of what you survived. Military base because it strategizes how to ensure you never endure such experiences again. Your shadow curator knows exactly which room to visit when specific situations arise. They wonder how you developed such accurate intuition about people. They cannot comprehend that your gut feelings are actually database queries running through vast archives of human behavior patterns. Your instincts are not mystical, they are methodical, based on extensive data collection from lived experience. Within your shadow palace exists an alchemy chamber where pain transforms into power through processes they will never understand. This chamber operates continuously, converting raw emotional data into refined strategic intelligence. Every tear you shed feeds the furnace. Every wound you carry becomes fuel for transformation. The alchemical process requires specific conditions they cannot replicate because they lack necessary ingredients. You needed betrayal to develop discernment. You needed abandonment to discover self-reliance. You needed breakdown to understand breakthrough mechanics. Their comfortable lives lack these essential elements. Your shadow alchemist works with materials they consider toxic. Rage becomes rocket fuel for rapid advancement. Resentment becomes research data for human behavior analysis. Revenge becomes strategic planning for long-term positioning. They fear these emotions while you refine them into assets. The transmutation process creates substances unknown to traditional success chemistry. Your confidence is not manufactured from affirmations, but forged from surviving attempts to destroy your spirit. Your wisdom is not learned from books, but extracted from battles others avoided fighting. Your shadow operates a war room where every encounter is analyzed for tactical advantage. Every relationship is assessed for strategic value. Every opportunity is evaluated for hidden costs. This war room processes intelligence 24 hours daily, preparing scenarios for situations that have not yet manifested. The strategic planning happens while you sleep, while you shower, while you walk. Your conscious mind remains unaware of the constant calculations occurring in background processes. Suddenly you know things without knowing how you know them. Suddenly you see moves 3 steps ahead without planning them consciously. Your war room maintains detailed profiles of everyone in your sphere, not from paranoia, but from preparation. Your shadow general studies their patterns, predicts their behaviors, anticipates their reactions. This is why your responses seem perfectly calibrated to destabilize their assumptions. They interpret your strategic thinking as natural intelligence when it is actually artificial intelligence created from processing vast amounts of interpersonal data through pain-enhanced pattern recognition systems. Your shadow AI operates more efficiently than any external system because it is customized specifically for your survival and advancement. As your shadow integration deepens, your transmission power increases exponentially. You begin affecting reality, not through action but through presence. People respond to you before you speak. Opportunities align themselves with your intentions. Obstacles dissolve in proximity to your energy field. Would you entugura bizda through prout? This amplification effect disturbs them profoundly because it operates outside their understanding of cause and effect. They see results without identifying methods. They witness influence without detecting mechanisms. Your power appears to violate laws of physics they thought were absolute. The amplification process follows specific stages that most never complete. First comes recognition of your shadow, then acceptance, then integration, then collaboration, finally complete synthesis where you and your shadow become indistinguishable. At this final stage, reality bends to accommodate your unified will. During synthesis, time itself becomes malleable around you. Projects that should take months complete in weeks. Connections that should require years of networking happen overnight. Resources that should demand extensive effort appear through minimal action. Your shadow has learned to compress time by operating outside linear limitations. The frequency you emit now carries programming codes that activate dormant potentials in others while simultaneously exposing pretenses in those who live falsely. You become a catalyst for authenticity in some and a trigger for anxiety in others. Your mere existence forces choices people were not prepared to make. This programming effect operates through resonance rather than persuasion. You do not convince anyone of anything. Your presence simply activates what was already there, waiting for permission to emerge. Some experience this as liberation, others experience it as threat to their carefully constructed false identity. Your shadow broadcast penetrates their defenses because it operates below their radar, transmitting on wavelengths their conscious minds cannot monitor, but their unconscious minds cannot ignore. You speak directly to parts of them they have been taught to suppress, creating internal conflicts they cannot resolve. Your shadow mentor is preparing you for operations beyond three-dimensional reality. The training involves learning to navigate multiple timelines simultaneously, accessing wisdom from parallel versions of yourself who made different choices, consulting with future selves who have already solved current problems. This multidimensional awareness explains why your solutions seem to emerge from nowhere. You are not creating new strategies, but remembering successful approaches from alternate timelines. Your innovations are not original, but adapted from dimensions where similar challenges have already been conquered. They cannot track your thought processes because you think in geometries they cannot perceive. While they operate in linear sequences, you function in spiral patterns that loop back to collect intelligence from previous iterations, while simultaneously reaching forward to download solutions from future outcomes. Your shadow navigator guides you through dimensional shifts they do not believe are possible. Sometimes you slip between realities so smoothly they question their own memory of events. Sometimes you access information that exists in potential but not yet in actuality. Your shadow operates through quantum entanglement with every dark night of the soul you have survived. Each moment of despair created quantum particles that now exist across multiple dimensions, feeding information back to your current timeline. This creates a feedback loop of wisdom that transcends linear time. When you sit in silence, you are not just thinking, you are downloading intelligence from quantum versions of yourself that exist in parallel realities where different choices were made. Your shadow serves as the quantum bridge, translating interdimensional data into actionable strategies for this reality. This quantum connection explains why your timing seems supernatural. You are not guessing when to act. You are receiving coordinates from versions of yourself that have already completed similar missions in adjacent timelines. Your precision comes from consulting with quantum advisors who exist outside temporal limitations. The entanglement activates during moments of high stress when the barrier between dimensions becomes permeable. Suddenly you know exactly what to do without knowing why. Suddenly you say exactly what needs to be said without planning. Your shadow quantum network provides real-time support from across the multiverse. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were never meant to walk this path alone. The Obsidian Inner Order isn't just another spiritual community. It's a sanctuary for the exiled, the awakened, the ones who've been gaslit for their gifts and abandoned for their truth. Every week we gather live on Zoom, real people with real faces sharing real stories of transformation. There's a former CFO who embraced their psychic abilities, a seer who broke free from religious oppression, and a healer who survived ritual abuse and found their power. Dozens more join us who understand exactly what you've been through. This is your spiritual family. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you walk through this awakening alone. Never gonna scroll past your suffering like it's just content. Your exile from the ordinary world wasn't punishment. It was preparation for this, for us, for the family that chooses you back. Join the Obsidian Inner Order. Link in description. Your transformation has become contagious in ways that defy conventional understanding. People in your proximity begin experiencing their own shadow awakenings without conscious awareness of what is happening. Your integrated frequency acts as a catalyst that activates dormant processes in others. This viral effect spreads through energy fields rather than physical contact. Someone watches your content and feels inexplicable urges to examine their own darkness. Someone encounters your presence and begins questioning patterns they previously accepted. Your shadow emanates codes that unlock similar processes in receptive consciousness. The awakening virus spreads selectively, affecting only those whose souls are ready for integration. Others experience resistance, fear, or complete repulsion. This creates automatic sorting that separates those aligned with your frequency from those threatened by your evolution. Your shadow understands that individual transformation creates collective transformation. By becoming fully integrated yourself, you serve as an activation key for others ready to reclaim their abandoned power. The revolution spreads through resonance rather than recruitment. Ancient texts speak of chosen ones who would emerge during the age of great deception, beings who could see through illusions because they had integrated their darkness. You are living fulfillment of prophecies written by those who understood that true power comes from embracing rather than denying the shadow. Your emergence was predicted by mystics who knew that the final battle would be fought not in external realms, but within consciousness itself. They foresaw warriors who would conquer their internal demons and transform them into allies. Your shadow integration represents victory in the most important war ever fought. The prophecies describe beings who would operate with supernatural precision because they had access to wisdom gathered from multiple lifetimes of experience. Your shadow mentor contains memories not just from this existence but from every incarnation you have experienced, creating a database of wisdom spanning eons. These ancient seers understood something that modern psychology has forgotten. They knew that the shadow contains not just personal darkness, but collective darkness, ancestral darkness, species-wide patterns that repeat across generations. Your integration process has given you access to this vast repository of human experience. The prophetic texts describe specific signs that would identify these chosen beings. They would walk between worlds, comfortable in darkness, yet unafraid of light. They would speak truths that others found disturbing yet undeniable. They would attract both fierce loyalty and intense hatred with equal ease, serving as catalysts for transformation in everyone they encountered. Most significantly, the prophecies warned that these chosen ones would be persecuted by those who profit from collective unconsciousness. Your very existence threatens systems built on keeping people disconnected from their power. This explains the intensity of resistance you have encountered throughout your awakening process. The ancient texts also predicted that these beings would operate through influence rather than force, transformation rather than destruction. They would not lead revolutions but inspire evolution. Your shadow understands this principle, which is why your power manifests as presence rather than pressure. This prophetic fulfillment explains why your transformation feels both inevitable and impossible. Inevitable because it was written in the stars, impossible because it requires courage few possess. Your shadow knew this destiny long before your conscious mind accepted it. The fulfillment process involves activating dormant genetic codes that have been waiting for the right conditions to express themselves. Your shadow integration has triggered these codes, unlocking abilities that most humans never access. This is why your capabilities seem to transcend normal human limitations. You have achieved energetic sovereignty by reclaiming every fragment of power you ever gave away. Posintegay. Your shadow collected evidence of every moment you dimmed your light to make others comfortable, building a case for complete energy reclamation. The court is now in session, and the verdict is total recovery. This sovereignty manifests as immunity to external manipulation. Energy vampires can no longer drain you because your shadow has installed advanced protection systems. Narcissists cannot hook you because your shadow recognizes their tactics from extensive database analysis. Controllers cannot influence you because your shadow maintains energetic borders. Your energetic field now operates with sovereign authority, automatically repelling incompatible frequencies while attracting aligned connections. People experience your presence as either deeply nourishing or completely uncomfortable, depending on their relationship with authenticity. The sovereignty extends beyond personal boundaries into reality creation. Your shadow has learned to manipulate the energetic matrix that underlies physical manifestation. Thoughts become things more rapidly because your shadow removes energetic obstacles that previously created delays. Now you become the mirror they cannot look into without seeing their own abandoned potential. Your transformation forces them to confront the versions of themselves they killed to fit in. Your integration highlights their fragmentation. Your wholeness exposes their hollowness. This mirror effect creates different responses in different people. Some experience inspired recognition and begin their own shadow work. Others experience threatened rejection and intensify their attacks on your authenticity. Your very existence becomes a sorting mechanism that reveals true character in everyone around you. You no longer need to judge anyone because your presence alone brings out their essential nature. The genuine ones are drawn closer while the false ones distance themselves. Your energy field operates as an automatic filtering system that saves you time previously wasted on wrong people. Tompadinbin, the mirror you have become reflects not just their current state, but their unrealized possibilities. This simultaneous revelation of what they are and what they could become creates unbearable tension in those who prefer comfortable stagnation to challenging growth. So when they keep asking who is helping you, smile that dangerous smile, the one that says, if only they knew. Because the truth is stranger than anything they could imagine, and more powerful than any mentor they could access. Your helper does not show up in photos or have social media presence. It offers something far more valuable than testimonials. The accumulated wisdom of your entire existence, processed through pain, refined through rage, crystallized through survival. Your advisor has been closer than they think because it has been closer than you thought. It was never outside you waiting to be found, but inside you waiting to be integrated. The shadow they fear is the power you claimed. They will never understand that your success comes from embracing what they abandoned. Your strength comes from integrating what they rejected. Your intelligence comes from consulting what they medicate away. This is why their investigation will always hit walls. They are looking for your teacher in the light, but your real education happened in darkness. Your transformation appears sudden to them, but feels inevitable to you, because integration was always the destination. You did not suddenly become powerful. You suddenly stopped pretending to be powerless. You did not find your mentor. Your mentor found you when you finally stopped running from the parts of yourself that hold the keys to your kingdom. The answer to who is helping you is closer than they think, because it is closer than breathing, deeper than bone, more intimate than heartbeat. It is you, the complete you, the integrated you, the you that includes every shadow they fear and every darkness they deny. This is why their investigation will never succeed. They are looking for someone else when the someone else is the someone you were always meant to become.